Good evening, I'm Robert White.
And I'm James Ashcroft. Here's what's coming up next on Panthervision.
For a deadly disease?
They're more likely to be exposed.
We'll explain.
Nearly 1,000 miles away. But the impact can still be felt close to campus.
Step back with your left foot to downward facing dog.
Looking for a way to stretch your body?
Take a moment to turn your attention inward.
And your mind? Then we have the class for you.
Single pointed concentration.
That and more
breath.
coming up next on Panthervision.
To take a moment to remove.
From the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, this is UWM Panthervision. A weekly newscast reported, written, and produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication. And now, the news.
Good evening. It's one of the most feared infectious diseases, yet universities don't require vaccination for it.
It only took her a matter of days for meningitis to kill 21-year-old UW-Madison student Henry McAman.
As Panthervision's Josh Weber reports, college students are at an increased risk of contracting the disease.
Meet Matt Hubner.
I could sit out here for hours.
Matt and his buddy Eric say they're enjoying their freshman year at UWM in typical college ways.
Video gaming, playing basketball.
But does he know that meningitis is a very real threat to him and his friends?
I've heard about it. I've known a couple people that have gotten it, but I really don't know exactly what it is.
Matt isn't alone on campus. Many students were unaware or had only a vague idea of what the disease is.
I've heard of it. I don't know the specifics.
Yeah, isn't it something about like your brain, like inflammation in your brain or something like that?
Yes, it is. And it also includes the spinal cord. College students are one of the most at-risk categories for contracting the disease.
Because they are thrown together with a lot of other people in a way that they might not have been before, they're more likely to be exposed to this germ.
Dr. Havens explained that the bacteria are present in the nose of many people.
Most of them do not get meningitis from it. It just hangs out in their nose and then it goes away.
It is spread through contact with another person's saliva. Things like sharing a cup or cigarette can easily spread the disease. How can students lessen the risk of contracting the disease?
It's hard to limit exposure in college. That's why you should get vaccinated.
As for Matt, he's already taken the precautions and been vaccinated.
Yeah, I think I got it like a year ago maybe.
In Milwaukee, I'm Josh Weber for Panthervision.
Officials estimate that 85% of college students have the vaccine. UW campuses do not require vaccination for admission, but state law does require that students living in a residence hall provide the university with their immunization history.
New UW-Madison research shows diagnosis of autism isn't being done soon enough in half of all cases. Past research has suggested autism should be diagnosed by age 2, but the new UW study shows less than 50% of children diagnosed with autism are identified by age 5. Behavioural symptoms are the best way to decipher whether a child may have autism. 1 in 88 children are affected with autism.
UWM and other state agencies are honoring the victims of the Boston Marathon bombing. Governor Scott Walker ordered all state buildings and universities to fly their flags at half-staff. The executive order expired over the weekend. 3 people were killed and more than 170 were injured in the explosions.
4 people with ties to UWM were at the race. Panthervision's Ian Thompson talked to one of them.
What if you ran slow?
Linda Britz is no stranger to running events, but this one was different from the rest.
I was 2 blocks away from the finish line when I heard the explosions.
Britz was one of 27,000 running in the marathon. That explosion she heard was a result of 2 bombs going off at the finish line.
After I heard the explosions, I thought either somebody was shot or it could have been a possible bomb explosion.
3 people were killed and dozens were injured in the explosions near the finish line. Many who heard the explosion were confused to what happened.
You only started realizing that something bad has happened when the police cars started arriving.
Brits, an instructor in the Helen Bader School of Social Welfare, has no regrets in participating in the marathon.
I think Boston is a wonderful marathon, and I would encourage anyone to run it.
Brits believes even after the attack, people should continue to live their lives without fear.
The important thing is we shouldn't stop doing what we're doing. If we want to run London Marathon, we should go out there and do that. If you have your heart set on running the Boston Marathon, you should do that.
Brits believes that times like these bring people together.
I was just so encouraged by all the people who didn't run away from the danger, but ran out there to help their fellow runners.
In Milwaukee, I'm Ian Thompson for Panthervision.
UWM students are safe and staff are home and safe after running in the marathon. 2 student athletes participated, senior Alex Francis and Christy Schusty, who is a UWM alumna. 2 UWM staff members also ran in the marathon. They are Helene Hickson from the School of Education and Linda Britz from the School of Social Welfare. None were harmed by the explosions.
It's not often a school lockdown ends with students volunteering to pay the suspected gunman's fines, but that's exactly what happened at Carroll University in Waukesha. The university went on lockdown for 90 minutes last week after students saw a man walking with a rifle. It turns out the man was carrying an airsoft rifle. He found it in a trash can and planned on taking it home. He later apologized, saying it was all a misunderstanding. Some students say they will sympathize with him and have collected donations to cover his $303 fine for disorderly conduct.
Marquette students are trading their fake IDs for fines after a raid at Victor's nightclub. Reports vary, but between 78 to 105 students were cited for underage drinking, and most of them had a fake identification. Milwaukee police say they had a tip that Victor's was serving underagers on Thursdays. That's the same night the bar offers free pizza and no cover charge with a college ID.
If you check your email regularly, you'll probably see notifications from the university about crimes in the area. UWM has multiple programs to ensure student safety. But as Aaron Nordlow reports, off-campus dangers still pose a threat to students who venture into nearby neighborhoods.
A recent robbery on Kramer Street again highlights the need for caution on campus.
I definitely will never walk by myself at night.
Amy Zignago was at a typical house party near UWM a few years ago when the evening took a frightening turn.
And they all had guns on them, and they found us underneath the bed, basically pulled us out underneath the bed. They told us, tell me where all your money is, tell me where your purse is.
A fellow party member opened the door to 3 masked men. Zignago and her friend Kate took refuge in a bedroom.
Closed the door, they shut off the lights, they told us to get out from under the bed, pretty much dragged us out.
Their injuries were not serious, but the event left emotional scars.
It made me extremely nervous to be anywhere in the area. I always kind of second-guessed people.
Though the city of Milwaukee's crime rate was up 9.4% in 2012, Patrol Officer Rafferty says most crimes are nonviolent.
We don't have any big city type crimes like murder or sexual assaults or anything. Not saying that these things don't occur, but I think because of our location, this is probably one of the safest universities in our state.
Amy isn't convinced.
And last week, in the middle of the day, somebody got robbed, somebody's car got broken into on our street.
According to Officer Rafferty, there's more than one way to prevent crimes on campus.
Usually when people come onto campus, we advise them to take advantage of a lot of the resources that the University Police offers, and one of those resources would be the safe officers.
Being alert, walking in groups, and knowing the area are 3 ways students can avoid being a victim of criminal activity.
We would rather respond to something that's nothing than to have somebody become a victim of a crime later.
In Milwaukee, I'm Aaron Nordlow for Panthervision.
The UWM police encourage students to take advantage of the safety programs they offer. For more information and safety tips, visit uwm.edu/boss.
Some Concordia University students are accusing Mequon election workers of voter intimidation. Concordia students say they were asked inappropriate questions during the April 2nd elections at a polling location on campus. The students claim they were asked by workers which candidate they'd be voting for and whether their parents paid taxes in the city of Mequon. Mequon police are investigating the claims.
UWM faculty and staff are making sure Chancellor Lovell knows what's on their minds. The Chancellor attended a faculty senate meeting and just everything from Palermo pizza controversy to the governor's proposed budget. Also under discussion is a proposal that would give the Board of Regents the authority to establish compensation plans. Faculty and staff have not received raises in 5 years. Administrators also discussed the new UW Flex degree program.
Up next, the lights go out again on the UW campus. We'll explore the recurring problem.
And we've seen no shortage of rain and wind, but is warmer weather around the corner? All that and then some when we come back.
This is where powerful ideas lead to proven results. This is where you belong.
Thanks for watching UWM Panthervision, Judge Best Student Newscast by the Northwest Broadcast News Association. Panthervision is produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in association with Milwaukee Area Technical College.
The UWM Union and EMS buildings had to power through an unexpected surprise.
And as I found out, some people even needed help from the fire department.
Being in the middle of typing a long paper, when all of a sudden, the power goes out. That happened to many students in the Student Union and the EMS building last Tuesday, shortly after 5 p.m. This was the second time this semester for both buildings. And the cause was unknown. But Union Director Rick Thomas thinks Mother Nature played a major role.
We can't always control what Mother Nature does. And
the people who were typing papers weren't the only ones frustrated. 2 individuals just trying to get to the next floor of the building were also inconvenienced.
The fire department was called when a student was stuck in this elevator between 2 floors. They disabled the elevator and manually pried open the doors. Since she was stuck between 2 floors, they had to hand her a ladder so she could climb to the next story.
1. Over in the EMS building, Ming Xu, the teaching assistant for an introduction to Java programming class, was right in the middle of teaching some very complex material.
Last week's class just over, so I must to combine last week's lab and today's lab together.
Thomas said the employees of the union did a fine job responding to the surprise power outage.
And they sprung into action.
With the repetitive rain and thunderstorms, power outages can occur at any time. And Thomas wants students to know what to do just in case another one should happen.
Stay safe, protect yourself.
In Milwaukee, for Panthervision, I'm Robert Wyke.
The building's generators did kick in to immediately restore some of the lights.
After a week of rain, flooding remains a concern in southeastern Wisconsin. Sandbagging continues along several rivers in the area, especially in the Racine County. In Walworth County, flooding forced cancellation of classes at an elementary school because of water in the building. Here at UWM, standing water was a nuisance for students, but there's no major damage reported. Students have to dodge a few puddles on the sidewalks, and there's standing water in the courtyard of the Downer building complex. This spring has not felt like spring, and many students can't wait to get away for spring break.
But not everyone heads to warmer climates. Nate Kufal has the story in tonight's MATC report.
From March 28th through April 7th, MATC closed for its annual spring break. Now students have recently returned to their classes to complete the final stretch of the spring semester. But while they were gone, what did most of these students do with their time off? Vacation, relaxing, catching up on homework? Check out what your fellow students did with their break.
I spent a lot of time catching up on homework, catching up on my readings, and catching up on my sleep.
I went to this little lake near my old neighborhood and messed with the ducks, read and song, worked out, stuff like that. Basically, it was all fun, really.
I worked a lot and went up north and hung out with the family pretty much.
I pretty much just hung out with my brother, also watched basically a lot of anime stuff, and then pretty much near the end of it, did homework.
Cleaned up around the house, fixed certain things that need to be fixed, and played some golf a lot.
While most of the campus appeared like a ghost town over break, few realized that on the 4th floor of the C building, the television and video production students continued as if they hadn't stopped, working hard on projects due several weeks away.
My spring break consisted of 4 shoots for my student ops program, and the days that I didn't have shoots, I had to work at my job.
This spring break, I was quite busy with student operations. It takes a lot of work, a lot of stuff to make a television program, and we learned that at MATC.
For Panthervision, I'm Nate Kufal reporting.
To learn how you can donate to local public television, go to mptv.org. Up next, 3 seniors make a racket by charging the net.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good, so we got some nice weather out there today.
We do have nice weather out there today. I know we want to get ready for sports, but weather is pretty important today because I finally get to say we get sunshine, and it's going to be nice weather finally. So as we look into the weather headlines this week, we have a very sunny Monday start. It's going to be nice out. Make sure you go outside, enjoy it while you can, because we are going to see a chance of a snow mix again Tuesday and Wednesday, but that's going to move out of here again, and we're going to see a lovely warm weekend ahead. As we move into current conditions, we're going to see the temperature today, right now, is 42 degrees, and again, like I said, it's going to be sunny. It's finally sunny outside today. So the temperature again is 42 degrees, and the dew point is 31, so humidity will be a bit lower today. And for today, again, sunny, high of 56. It's going to be nice out. We're going to get close to 60, but with being so close to the lake, it's going to be a little bit on the cooler side. As we look at the lows from overnight, we see pretty similar all around the state of Wisconsin. 35 up in Rhinelander, 39 in Eau Claire, and as we move into the highs, we're seeing 51 down in Milwaukee, like I said, cooler lakeside, but as we move west, 59 in Madison, 53 in La Crosse, and 47 in Eau Claire, because Minnesota right now is actually getting snow. And tonight we're going to see those clouds move in, and that rain is going to also move in with it, and with temperatures dropping, it has a chance of turning into a snow mixture. But tomorrow it's going to be rainy again, like we've seen the past couple weeks, with a high of 49 degrees, and the wind will be northwest at 5 to 15 miles per hour. As we move into Wednesday, again, that sun's going to come back. High of 47 degrees with a northwest wind at 10 miles per hour, but chance of rain later in the evening, and again, that chance of a snow mixture later in the night. As we move into the rest of the week, we have sunny skies on Thursday, partly cloudy on Friday. Saturday and Sunday, we're looking at sun as well, with highs ranging between 49 and 61, guys. We're finally getting to 60. Can you believe it?
Can't wait for that warm weather.
I cannot wait either.
Sounds good, Sarah. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Milwaukee Public Television will be having its annual TV auction next week. Matt Haman takes a closer look in this MATC report.
MPTV's Great TV Auction is right around the corner. And once again, the students are behind the scenes.
The biggest thing you got to understand when you're dealing with students at the auction is the fact that this is the first time they've ever seen anything like this.
As a first-year student doing auction, I'm excited to do the live show.
As a second year, having worked auction last year, I say looking back, my favorite memory would just be the chaos and the live show of auction.
A lot of MPTV employees have been working on the auction for many years.
30 years working the auction, starting off as a crew person. So I did floor directing, I did camera, and then when I was promoted to studio supervisor and lighting director.
MPTV's auction can be stressful for some students, but not all of them.
Auction last year for me wasn't very stressful at all, I don't think. You know, I remember I had to work a double shift.
I know I'm going to have to work a lot of late shifts, but it'll help for work experience as well as helping MPTV.
To watch the auction and even bid on some items, tune into Channel 10 from April 26th through May 4th. I'm Matt Hammond with the MATC Report.
To learn how you can donate to local public television, go to mptv.org. Up next, 3 seniors making a racket by charging the net.
And calming your nerves with a few simple poses? We'll see how much it helps out stressed out students on campus.
This is where powerful ideas lead to proven results. This is where you belong.
Thanks for watching UWM Panthervision, judged Best Student Newscast by the Northwest Broadcast News Association. Panthervision is produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in association with Milwaukee Area Technical College.
The baseball team honors its history,
while the women's tennis team tries to write some history of its own. Yulin joins us with the sports.
The weather outside may be frightful, but the women's tennis team is looking delightful. James Ashcroft takes a closer look at one of the only spring sports not being affected by the weather.
Dana.
Nice shot, Dana.
Chelsea.
All right, Chelsea.
Kristen.
Nice shot, Kristen.
Christina. Brittany. And Maddie. The 6 girls on the tennis team may not be on centre court at Wimbledon, but the elite sports club North Shore in Glendale is just as valuable to play at for these girls. Tennis may be an individual sport, but not in this case.
We're all friends. We get along off the court and on the court, and it's awesome. I'm best friends with all of them.
And the team of friends have put up some impressive numbers this year. 11-8 overall, 4-2 in conference, including a win against previously undefeated Youngstown State.
Our doubles are what's given us opportunities, to compete at this level and beat good teams.
Doubles may be a key to the success this year, but standout performer Maddie Soleil is the all-time school leader with 68 career single wins.
My philosophy is basically just, I have to win. I always feel like I have to win.
And win she did, in straight sets, as her and the rest of the team swept Chicago State 7-0. For now, the Panthers are sitting in 3rd in conference, with the Horizon League title in their sights. In Glendale, for Panthervision, I'm James Ashcroft.
The Horizon League Championship starts April 26 in Indianapolis. UW decathlete Dan Salmon won 3 of his 5 events at last Wednesday's Kansas City Relays. Salmon won the 100 meters event, finishing in 11.06 seconds. The senior went on to win the long jumps and the 400-meter race. When the men's baseball team plays at Miller Park on April 24th, the home team won't be wearing the usual yellow and black. They'll be wearing green instead to honor the days when UW teams were called the Green Golf. Players who took the field for UW between 1927 and 1951 will be honored in a pre-game ceremony. Milwaukee wore green and white uniforms until 1956 when they joined the UW system. After that, the team wore badge red and white, calling themselves the Cardinals. In 1965, the team made the switch to the current color and adopted the Panthers as a mascot. The current Panthers are chasing more than just spring championships. The Horizon League awards the McCafferty Trophy every year to the school that wins the most conference titles. The Panthers sit in second place, chasing Loyola University for the top spots. UW has won the trophy 6 times. That is 4 spots. Back to you guys.
Students have found a new way to relieve stress and are getting college credit for it.
Kimberly Rhyme tells us how students are learning to relax their minds and their bodies on campus.
Inhale, raise your arms up.
Most college classes don't start like this.
Urdhva Hastasana, find your length. Tailbone down. Inhale, exhale, folding forward, come down.
But that's how Annie Melchior begins her class.
Have a good sense of humor, lift your thigh.
Annie teaches over 170 students every semester, reaching people from all majors, giving them the benefits of yoga.
Curl your toes under, lift your hips up. Go back to downward dog.
This is actually my 3rd time taking this class.
What began as just a GER class has turned into a life practice for Margot Blanger.
I think it's fun, and I think that a lot of people come into it thinking that it's just going to be like an easy class to take for like one of their general requirements, but you end up really liking it.
Bend your left knee to a square.
Yoga satisfies the arts general education requirement for students on campus, but for some, it's turned into much more.
Just practicing this, every Monday and Wednesday, even just that small amount, I'm able to be a lot more balanced. Even on the court, I notice that I'm a lot more balanced in serving and hitting everything.
Dana Shannon plays for the UWM tennis team and has noticed a difference since taking yoga.
Just different ways of stretching that I never knew I could do, so it's really beneficial.
Flexibility and balance are just a few of the benefits that yoga offers students.
I think that the skills that they're learning here are really helping them reduce their stress. They can sleep better, gives them lots of tools to have a better life. It's upward dog, scoop up.
In Milwaukee, I'm Kimberly Rhyme for Panthervision.
I'm going to remember that.
Yoga classes are offered every semester through the dance and recreation departments. So, Robert, I guess that's the big question. Have you ever taken a yoga class?
No, I'd like to, and I heard it's a great way to relieve some stress. How about you?
I don't know, I'd do anything for easy 3 credits, at least I may be able to graduate quickly.
I agree. Thank you for joining us tonight.
You can watch us on Time Warner Cable 14 and ATT Universe Channel 99 at 5 o'clock on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Have a great week.